Yet there are some local businesses that are only beginning to feel the impact. The Vineyard, Château Smith Haut Lafitte, is making preparations if the wildfires head its way. 2 of its tractors are on standby in case local firefighters need help. Ludovic Fradin is the Deputy Managing Director at the Château, and he joins us now. I really want to thank you for your time on what must be some really tense days to come. Can you fill us in on what the situation is right now? Because we understand that not only is it going to get warmer, but perhaps there will be a change of wind direction as well.
Yes, that's correct. Actually, we face to a wind which is very turning around the fire and who create his own forecast inside the fire. So the fire is going up and down and coming back to the point where it's starting and coming back to Bordeaux, and now progressing to Bordeaux at about entrance door Bordeaux, about more or less 20 kilometers.
It must be so worrying. That is not far away at all. What has been like for you, for everyone there in the region, for your business? I mean, must be real anxiety, and I understand you're really on a trigger to evacuate.
Yeah, well, we are not yet evacuated, so we are waiting from the chief of the estates if we have to evacuate or not. But at the time being, there is no evacuation, so we prepare ourselves with our tank that we fill with water. It's an experience that we never underwent before. So we face a situation we don't have any background. So we try to secure a lot of things, including the people, the staff, of course, but it will be the much easier things to do, but as well as all the animals that we have inside the winery that we have to take care and see where we are going to move them. And some of them are big, like cows and llamas and things like that. So we try to set up a protocol just to be ready in case of evacuation, which is not yet active.
It is 10:44 p.m. right now. In terms of the evening and how it will pass overnight for you, how worried are you that given the wind and the temperatures that things could get worse when you wake up in the morning?
Temperature is going drier and drier and warmer this week. So we are worried about the fire and the progress of the fire, which is at the entrance door of Bordeaux. I saw apps today where the wind, they showcase the wind direction. So at the time being now, they just move from north to south. So it pushed south the fire. So we doesn't get any effect with the smoke as well, or just a little bit. That's quite manageable. So, but it's something that you cannot forecast and you cannot see any plan, because the wind obviously is turning around 360 degrees every day. So that's something very difficult to handle. But the things we have to do is to be ready and to be prepared to evacuate if it is necessary. Giving helps as well of the people on the fire. We have a nice hotel which is named Les Sources de Caudalie, so we give them a lot of pastries and water and towels to the people who are on the fire. So we try our best as well with our tank of water that we are ready to use for the fire people. But at the time being, they ask us to don't move and to leave the professional, the firemen, to do their job to secure the area and see if they need it or not. So we are on hold, actually. It's a quite scary and very anxious situation, but we are ready to move if it is necessary, and to try to save people, animals, and things like that.
It certainly seems like a lot of preparation has gone into this for what, as you've said, incredibly historic and unimaginable conditions right there in that area of France. Mr. Fradin, we'll continue to check in with you, and we certainly hope the fire conditions improve.
We hope. I think that we have a lot of volunteers, but we saw as well that we have a lack of means, because there is not enough plane, there is not enough helicopter, there is not enough volunteer of firearms as well, fire people, I mean. So it's a situation which is, because we faced a very big, huge fire, which never happened before, as far as I know. And so we see that we have a lack of means, and we need a lot of things to try to secure and to fight against this fire, because it's a fight, actually. It's a big fight.
It's a fight, yeah, a challenge ahead. Thanks again for being with us. Really appreciate it.